Gold FM is #1 here in Sigatoka.
Gold FM is our favorite radio station here in Lautoka.
Gold FM is #1 in Nel.
I love listening to Gold FM in Ba.
We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits here in Suva.
Hear about bottle cola, you immediately think of gold. I'm Josephine Sabi and I love hearing Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
In the news tonight, murder suspect on the run. People's Democratic Party confirms union involvement. And Education Ministry shocked that some primary school students can't read. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. A 34-year-old man is on the run after allegedly murdering his aunt at Nakavu settlement in Nandi yesterday afternoon. The elderly victim was found by her son in a pool of blood under their kitchen table. Christopher Chand reports.
53-year-old Hamida was allegedly murdered at the hands of her own nephew. Police arrived at the scene last night to remove her body and to comb the area for evidence.
Yeah, she was found inside her home by her son, lying in a pool of blood. It was just information that we have received at this stage, which we still have to confirm, is that there was a certain argument over a family issue. That's something that we really have to ascertain, though.
The victim's 20-year-old son, Riaz Khan, arrived home at around 5:30 yesterday evening and found his dead mother. FBC News understands the alleged murderer was also in the house at the time but fled the scene soon after. Khan was too disturbed to talk on camera but can still picture how he found his mother. She was rolled up under the table and there was blood everywhere. It's alleged attempts had been made to wipe some of the blood.
At this stage, a search team is out conducting searches in the various areas that he is believed to be in last seen or where the taxi had dropped him. Until we can bring him in for further questioning, then maybe we can reveal more as to the motive behind it.
The brutal murder has shocked this neighborhood. The alleged murderer lives next door in this quiet settlement and was last seen being dropped off at Wailoloa in a taxi. Police are again reminding the public not to break the law, given the recent trend of homicides in the Western Division. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
The mystery over the involvement of the unions in the formation of Fiji's newest party seems to have finally been solved. The People's Democratic Party has, for the very first time, revealed that unionists Felix Anthony and Daniel Urai frequently attend party meetings. The PDP says Anthony and Urai are party advisors and mentors. Chanel Sivan with this exclusive interview.
Fiji's newest political party was pushed this morning to clear the air on who really are party members and backers. PDP Interim General Secretary Sat Narayan has admitted for the first time that apart from him and other party officials, unionists Felix Anthony and Daniel Urai also attend party meetings, giving advice and views to assist the party in formulating its upcoming manifesto.
Wherever we have any launching or any meetings, he may come on invitation. If we invite him to as a workers' rep, he is at liberty.
Does he attend party meetings?
Upon invitation, if he, if we
is
invite
he
him.
attending parties?
No.
Has he ever attended any political party meetings?
Whenever he's invited.
So
on labor, we, like I told you, Sivam, we are still formulating our manifesto. Good? So we need people like Felix.
FBC News understands there was a meeting last Tuesday at the F2UC headquarters where both the unionists, who have always denied their involvement with the party, were present. They were present in the meeting?
They were around.
Okay. So they were in the meeting, sir?
It's towards around and no,
so
Sivam, if you want to
very
act as an investigator, I will continue to answer you.
So they were in the meeting, but they were not deliberating?
No, they were not in the meeting. They were around.
You say they were in the room, but they were not deliberating. They were just observing. That's what you are saying?
No, they just came in and out. That's it.
The party General Secretary seems confused on how to explain Urai and Anthony's role in the PDP.
What is your interest in that?
The public wants to know, say, who's in the party, who's behind the party. We just want to know.
Public will get to know sooner or later. There's nothing will be hidden from the public. Shivam, public will know the truth. I already told you, and you know very well, and everybody in this country knows that we are dictated by the political party's decree. And people have to abide by that to a certain extent.
FBC News could not reach the two unionists to ask about their involvement in the party. In the meantime, the party refuses to answer some important information. Who started the party? Who are the party's silent backers? To what extent are Urai and Anthony involved in the party? And who actually controls the party? Chanel Shivan, FBC News.
The Education Ministry is shocked that many students up to Class 5 do not know how to read. This alarming discovery made by the Education Ministry recently has prompted a renewed focus on reading skills for Year 1 to 4 students. Vosita Kotaiwasawasa with this exclusive story.
The Education Ministry now knows there is a critical need to do more to get Years 1 to 4 students reading properly.
That's continuous work that we do in our school, for all teachers. We try to get the, there's no place in the world, where every student passes everything.
Philippe Mbole says lack of reading resources available to children from an early stage affects them later.
But the situation in Fiji, very few of us have libraries in our homes, so there's next to nothing apart from the papers, the dailies that they buy every day for them to read.
Mbole says it's because of the stationaries at home that teachers have to step up and deliver.
So the schools have to provide this thing. If there's nothing to encourage the students to learn and to pass in their own homes, they have to get this in the school.
With the new teaching resources made available this year, teachers are now being pushed to take their time to assist in the growth and development of each child at all primary schools. If this isn't done, then we would become yet another shocking statistic from a developing country. Vasita Kotiwasawasa, FBC News.
Plans to enlarge the police force and raise the level of service, skills and discipline require an increase in the capacity of the police academy. As Mikalonga reports, the plan also requires more qualified trainers.
If you've got nothing to give to the community, you cannot give anything to the community.
Established in 1967, the police academy has come a long way and now needs to expand to meet the growing demand for training.
I've given an instruction this year that all my staffs to be able to enroll in any university and make sure they continue. Our theme for the year is empowering and consolidating. So the training is done in a way that it should be in line with the corporate plan and the corporate plan in line with the government.
Right now, the academy can only take up 178 trainees, and it's already full house with 150 new recruits and 28 police sergeants. Cadet trainees will march into the academy on Sunday.
I would love to have that extended in the near future. That will be great for the academy, and not only the academy, for the Fiji Police Force as a whole. And the other option that we are looking at is to demarcate or take the courses down to the training cadres in our divisions.
The police force will further expand from 2015 with a recruitment of 150 more young men and women later this year.
The biggest challenge here is how you listen. So how you adjust the way you listen to instructions and how you take it in, how fast you take it in. Because once you get anything wrong, you get punished.
Life here is very challenging. Every morning you have to be disciplined, wake up early, carry out your duties.
Fortunate for me to be part of the teaching team, to teach the new recruits on the basics of police work.
The police academy is working to offer more courses in the future. With an expanding force, the expansion of the infrastructure here at the police academy in Asova is also expected. Mikalonga, FBC News.
Coming up, increase in missing persons reports.
Today FM is #1 here in Singatoka.
We like Today FM in Lambasa. It's rock!
My favorite station in Nandi is Today FM.
Listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks in Sabah.
Loto kasi they love today's kid music.
I love Today FM because they play all my songs. We love Today FM at Univer Lambasa. Yeah, it rocks. I love Today FM because it rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Nambula FM erkrake talitaki.
Golnga Lambasa, Mbula FM, number 2 na sere.
Ndu talita kana borong en Mbula FM, number 2 na sere su.
Kau buat tu geraki au rewat juga ni stima au ndu talita kana borong en Mbula.
Kalau bina Fiji, Mbula FM number 2 singa toka.
Mbula bina era roga, Mbula FM number 2 tikola.
Mbula FM number 2 en sere.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. The Education Ministry admits no specific teachers are being appointed to teach conversational Itauke and Fiji Hindi in primary schools. They say there are enough teachers in the school system who can speak the two everyday vernacular languages to meet the needs of all primary school students throughout Fiji. Edwin Nund reports.
Education Minister Philippe Mbole says there is no need for expert language teachers for conversational Itoke and Hindi.
We have Fijian teachers who talk Fijian all the time, in spite of the fact that it's not allowed in their own school. The same thing for Indian teachers and all the other teachers.
Philippe Mbole told FBC News there aren't enough language teachers to send to every primary school in Fiji, but that will hardly be necessary.
Everybody who is a teacher and who teaches in any of these two levels can teach conversational because they speak it every day. Okay? Yeah. Because they are teachers, they can organize their material better.
Probably we should have more professionals and to teach both the languages, Hindi and Itoke language.
I believe that it's the teachers that are already in the system who can do this job. It will assist development of children.
Unless we have new lessons on the language, otherwise we can still use the teachers that we have now, the current teachers we have now.
Education Ministry records show a surplus of teachers in Fiji, but very few of them have specific qualifications as language teachers. The minister says vernacular languages have been part of the education system for many years. It's only from this year that it's become compulsory to teach conversational Itoke and Hindi in primary schools under the 2013 Constitution. It remains to be seen whether the lack of properly trained teachers will affect the desired outcome of this historic addition to our primary school system. Edwin Nund, FBC News.
2 out of the 5 people who were victims of the horrific accident at Samambula Suva yesterday afternoon have been discharged from the CWM hospital. Police have confirmed 2 children have been sent home, while a couple and a taxi driver remain admitted in hospital. Police say the truck driver who allegedly caused the accident has been interviewed and released. Poor communication between family members is the main reason for the increase in missing person reports. The police say most of the people reported missing turn up safe and sound after failing to tell family members where they were going. Ananai Soro says most missing persons make contact after a day or 2.
Initiate investigations, and then within the span of 24 hours the person is found again, and then when we ask, what's the reason, then they said, oh no, I just decided to come and spend some time here, certain things like that. And when you think about the resources that are put into such cases, on solving such cases, it's just a concern, because just better communication is the answer.
There have been 19 missing person reports this month. 6 of them were under 16 and 10 were between the ages of 17 and 26. The Fiji Rental Car Association is calling on all rental companies to be part of the network to combat the industry's growing problems. Members today highlighted major issues facing them at the association AGM. Epelito Kwasa reports.
The meeting today at the Fiji Club voted Suva Car Rental Director Muhammad Shireen as President, replacing Bob Niranjan, and Rohini Raj from Hertz Car Rental as Secretary. The newly elected President says the association is working on a code of conduct for members.
You can't have rental companies, not treating their customers right. On the other hand, you have got to have you have to be a professional business person. So you've got to have some ethics when you come into the industry, and that is what we will try and propose. This is very important, and our code of conduct probably would be completed by March or April this year.
Sarim says one of the main issues they want to combat is illegal operators who are tarnishing the image of legitimate rental companies. The association is also unhappy with the increase in stamp duty fees. There are also concerns about the rates charged by insurance companies.
We have seen rental companies coming up and closing, and we do not want that to be happening. The new players are coming in, the old ones are getting out of it. We do not want that to happen. So we want the industry, because we have invested huge dollars into the country, we want that to be protected.
The association has admitted they have a lot of problems to solve and are calling on all rental companies to come on board and help to look for solutions together. Epeli Tukuasa, FBC News.
Fiji and Mauritius will soon be working closely at facilitating investment and business between the two countries. They finalized a memorandum of understanding allowing close cooperation between Investment Fiji and the Mauritian Bureau of Investments. The Minister for Trade and Commerce, Said Qayyum, met his Mauritian counterpart, Said Abdul Qadir Said, in India yesterday. They also explored the possibility of enhancing cooperation and collaboration within the sugar and tourism sectors. Both are attending the Confederation of Indian Industry Partnership Summit 2014 in Bengaluru. We turn to sports now. Jamie, I hear there's an injury scare in the Fiji Sevens camp.
Yes, there is. Forward Pio Tuai may be in doubt for Wellington. We'll hear from Ben Ryan. Also up ahead, was Inoke Male sacking part of a bigger scheme? Find out after the break.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Singapore.
और किसके सुनिए यार, हमारा एक सच्चा साथी है मिर्ची एफएम लंबा सा।
I love Mirchi FM. It's so hot. देखे में लाल लाल, खाए में हाय हाय. Tangi taupo में Mirchi FM is hot.
Here at Rugby Town, Singatoka love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Suva. It's hot.
हम वहीं के लिए लंबा सा में रहता है। तो क्या बताएं हम मिर्ची एफएम सुनता है।
Mirchi FM, बहुत जुलूम.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Ito Singatoka no talita na warongan na Radio Fijuan na station ng Almotua.
Ako na poro na talita. Mandau talita gini na warong Radio Fijuan.
Kitongo isu untuk talita na warongan Radio Fijuan na station ng Almotua.
Kito talita ka na Radio Fijuan. Na Radio Fijuan, ento talita kita nga Singatoka.
Station in Matino Pinatia na Radio Fijuan. Kukuan Kayanyan.
Na Radio Fijuan nandu mo ibig tinapongga ni BNN.
Welcome back to FBC Sports. Lanky forward Pio Tuai remains the only concern for the Fiji Sevens side ahead of the Wellington tournament. Coach Ben Ryan will make a final decision on the injured forward tomorrow morning while retaining the other 11 players. Tuai injured his knee during day 2 of the Las Vegas Sevens on Sunday and has been rested since then.
Now, the main concern really is just Pio Tuai. He had a slight grade 1 knee injury to his collateral medial ligament, so that's getting assessed at the moment, and obviously the first 24 hours of any injury, you don't get too many answers, so we're just going to wait and see how he reports tomorrow morning before we make any decisions on him, but the other 11 all look fit and ready to go for Wellington.
Meanwhile, Ryan says everyone needs to get over the blame game regarding South African referee Rasta Rashivenga's control of Fiji's matches in Vegas.
Yeah, that's right. It will be very interesting. And I love what you just said. Yeah, there's no point in looking back. Honestly, I'm a little bit fed up of everyone talking about the refereeing. You know, we need to have a team that's good enough that doesn't have to worry about opposition or officiating or the environment. And just like players and coaches, referees don't always get everything right, and I just want to move forward to Wellington now, and I'm very excited about that.
The team leaves for Wellington on Thursday. And still with rugby, just the day after the Flying Fijians coach was fired, and there's already talk about hiring someone from overseas to replace him. However, as Zinder Singh reports, the question is whether or not the firing was part of a previously set game plan.
This was just over 2 weeks ago.
We are trying very hard to have minimum disruptions to all programs, so that the programs and the plans by staff in 2014 is to go on as is with minimal disruptions.
Since then, in a bizarre twist of events, the FRU now seems to have gone back on its word and has decided it can't really survive without the IRB grants. With 5 staff, including Flying Fijians coach Inoke Male, also getting the boot, the passage of play is obviously not all that smooth at Union House. But an overseas coach is all but guaranteed for the Flying Fijians with the backing of the Sports Commission.
Rugby, both rugby 7s and rugby 15s.
This move has obviously been pre-planned, as the FRU had clearly stated late last year it wanted an expatriate mentor for the national team.
Shopping out there, only one cleaner.
They have, we're giving approval on that one. They have to go out and find one now.
It's obvious the cutting of funding by the IRB is starting to have an effect on the FRU coffers. However, what's not known is whether this will impact the remaining staff at Rugby House. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
Meanwhile, the FRU says Thai Lebu coach Lance Whippy has been confirmed as one of 2 coaches for the Fiji Warriors team that will play in the Pacific Rugby Cup. Fiji Rugby Union Acting Chief Executive Berlin Kafour says they approached Whippy and Nandrunga mentor Esala Naunga for the job. Naunga flies in from Australia tonight and is yet to confirm whether he will team up with Whippy. They are to take over from sacked Flying Fijians coach Inoke Male. The Under-20 side for the Junior World Cup will be coached by Super Salimoni Ravovo and former Sevens mentor Ilyasa Tanibula. The national Hobie Cat team is sailing ahead to take on the world's best at the Hobie 16 World Championships in Sydney, Australia next month. Making up the core of the Fiji team are junior sailors who will get their first dip in international waters. Talenda Dakadaka reports.
10 sailors will fly the Fijian flag in the upcoming World Championships. Veterans Graham Southwick and the husband and wife team of Shane and Tarika Brody will lead a team of juniors eager to log in some good times against the best in the world.
I started sailing, I sailed with Graham as a crew, so I really learned a lot from him. And getting up to skipper is a different standard of sailing for me. So I've been training a lot during the week, all this week. Looking forward to this competition in Australia.
Teammates Manoa Namburilebu and Rochelle Ruyen have been sailing together for over a year now and have set high goals for themselves.
I'd like to be in the top 10 on the final. And maybe another world, then I'll try and get top 3.
Ruyen, a TV editor at FBC, says she has learned to juggle work and training well.
No, it's good because during the week I can obviously do my work at FBC, and then on weekends we can fit in a 2-day training, working on attacking and all that. So it's been good.
The World Championship is the ultimate challenge for our Hobie Cat sailors. For the youngsters making their international debut, it's a chance to see where they stand against the best in the world. Chalendo Dakavak, FBC Sports.
The Interim Executive Committee of Athletics Fiji today released a statement saying the special general meeting last weekend by athletics clubs was unlawful and decisions made are not binding. The SGM reinstated former committee members, including Albert Miller as president of Athletics Fiji, and expelled the interim committee. Miller said in an earlier interview his removal was unconstitutional and should have come through the proper forum, either the SGM or the annual general meeting. And that's it from Sports Tonight. It's back to Jackie now with business.
Ginger exporter Kaiming Agro Processing Limited in Navua has acquired ISO 22000 accreditation. This means Kaiming Agro's food safety management system is of international standard. The accreditation helps the company comply with international market requirements, especially those imposed by Western countries. Kaiming Agro began operating in 2006. It exports processed ginger products and root crops, mostly to New Zealand, Australia and the USA. The company expects to expand to other regions in the near future as the demand for Fiji-grown ginger continues to increase. Now for the weather girl to give us more doom and gloom.
Thank you, Jackie. Since you were voted FBC's best dressed employee, I'm hoping you have a very fashionable raincoat. Judging from the wet and cloudy weather we had today, you're going to need it. You know it's hot when the highest temperature is 33 degrees and the lowest is 32. I don't know about you, but I've had to stock up on a lot of DVDs. Reason being, I find it extremely hard to sleep in this heat, and I'm sure most of you feel the same way. The entire country can expect rain and thunderstorms to develop tomorrow afternoon. It will be relatively fine in the morning, as it's been the last few days, but that should change sometime after lunch. Now for the best part. Out of all the photos we've shown on weather, this is my favorite, hands down. It was sent in by the guys from World Wildlife Fund, and I love the expressions on these little boys' faces. Just priceless.
I'm in agreement. Thanks so much for that, Genevieve. The headlines once again: police search for 34-year-old alleged murder suspect last seen in Wailolo, Nandi. People's Democratic Party confirms union involvement. An education ministry is shocked that many students up to class 5 do not know how to read. To the poll question for this week, we're asking: did the Fiji Sevens players give their 100% at the Las Vegas tournament? Visit the FBC website to answer. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your stories at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That's news this Tuesday, January 28th. Join us again tomorrow at the same time. Good night.
Bato Bahe, Bame Radio Fiji 2 के कौन सा के रोके ऑनलाइन क्लियर
रेडियो फीजी 2 रगरगी के लोग ज्यादा सुनते हैं।
नेंडी में हम सबकी पसंद रेडियो फीजी 2।
तालेबू के लोग रेडियो फीजी 2 सबसे ज्यादा सुन रहे हैं।
मेरी पसंद रेडियो फीजी 2, नसूरी में सभी को पसंद रेडियो फीजी 2।
टावा में रेडियो फीजी 2 सभी कोई सुनते हैं।
रेडियो फीजी 2
रेडियो फीजी 2 आई लव यू।
देश की धड़कन रेडियो फीजी 2।